I'm certain you'll make the right decision, brother. He made to move away, hailing a friend across the room. Sebastian. His brother turned and raised a brow in inquiry. Nicholas was taken aback by the fatigue on Sebastian's face. Small lines etched the corners of his eyes, and deep grooves creased the sides of his mouth. A mouth that smiled little lately. "Thank you," Nicholas said quietly. Sebastian smiled, erasing the serious expression that seemed to be a constant lately. "That's what families are for, Nick." His gaze flickered behind Nicholas. "Kenmar's approaching." Then he disappeared into the crowd, giving Nicholas only a few moments to prepare himself. "Addison." Kenmar stopped beside him, an older gentleman who clung to the tradition of wearing a white wig in public. The man was well respected, and a close acquaintance of the king. Nicholas nodded. "Kenmar, have you given my proposal any thought?" "I have." Kenmar took a sip from his glass. "Before you give me your answer, I'll have you know I received more information after you left this afternoon. Inside sources tell me Blackwell is launching a shipment of gold that's to leave the colonies in a month or so. If you choose to accept this mission, I'll need you to discover more about the gold, where it's headed, and what it's being used for. You don't believe Lady Anne is behind the attacks?" According to Blackwell, the notorious female pirate, Lady Anne, was behind them. "I don't believe Lady Anne exists." Kenmar swirled the wine in his glass. The London papers were full of the lady pirate's exploits. Young girls wanted to be like her. Men claimed to have bedded her. The elite whispered about her in their ballrooms, and she was a major source of entertainment in what would otherwise have been an ordinary season of soirees and balls. Nicholas didn't know anyone who'd actually seen Lady Anne, let alone met her. Whether she existed or not had been little concern to him, until now. The prospect of the gold fascinated him. Hell, who was he kidding? The entire proposal intrigued him. He'd been away from the sea for 2 long years. It was time he regained his sea legs, and this was a perfect opportunity. "I will do it," he said, and the weight that had settled on his shoulders after his injury shifted. Kenmar nodded, his expression unchanging, as if he'd expected no other answer. "Be ready to sail in 5 days." He put his glass on the tray of a passing waiter. "Now I'm off to the club. Have a good evening, Addison." And he disappeared into the crowd, leaving Nicholas alone with his newfound trepidation and anxiety, but also with anticipation. "Do you find these things as boring as I?" His gaze collided with the eyes the color of the sea on a clear day, a combination of blue and green. They smiled at him, those eyes, crinkling at the corners and dancing with merriment. Slowly his startled gaze swept over her, taking in shiny black hair piled high. One curled ebony lock rested seductively on the top of a firm golden breast, encased in an off-white gown. With all that dark hair and glowing skin, she reminded him of a gypsy. But what fascinated him the most, what caught his attention more than the curve of her breasts and the bewitching color of her eyes, were the dimples peeking out at him when she smiled. The stunning vision held out her hand. "Emmaline Sutherland. And you are?" He hesitated. He might disdain society, preferring the open ocean to a stuffy ballroom, but he knew the rules, and one of the biggest was that a lady did not introduce herself to a gentleman. Intrigued, he smiled, bowed over her hand, and kissed it. "Captain Nicholas Addison." "Well, Captain Addison, why don't you ask me to dance? Maybe a saraband will alleviate our boredom."